Okay, so today I'm going to be playing Avowed for the first time, and obviously it just came out, and so this is a little sub-segment of my new Permadeath first playthrough format that I've been doing since November. So going back to my old school Permadeath first playthrough format, I originally started it officially in 2016, where I did the original Diablo. That's how I introduced it. Obviously my channel art would reflect that. This one here, I'll just show it. Obviously, I always use it when I start a stream. So yeah, I did that in 2016, so I've had that as a long-standing format where whenever I'm playing a game for the first time that I'm, typically older games, I don't often do it with new games. Right when they came out, I did that for a little bit, and then I never really kept up with that. So normally it'll be I go back and play some old game that I've never played, and it's Permadeath first playthrough, and if I die, then I can't play it again for another 6 months to a year. So with something like this, it's going to be much higher stakes, because if I die here, I just wasted $70, right? On something that just came out, and then I can't play it again for 6 months to a year. So it's a much higher threshold of responsibility, accountability for it. And so typically, like I said, I do it with games that are just older that I happen to never have played before. And so starting November last year, I sort of brought it back to new games that I had done, like I said, briefly in the past, but with new games, I started November. I did Slitterhead, and I only did a couple episodes. I didn't even complete it, but I didn't die. So, I mean, it's still up there as a series I could come back to and continue. But yeah, November was Slitterhead. December was Indiana Jones. Now, that one I kind of cheated the format and did a hybrid and said, oh, I get to try over and over because I died so quickly and unsatisfyingly. But I won't do that with this one. So if I die, it genuinely just counts. And then January was Path of Exile, even though that came out, Path of Exile 2, obviously, even though that came out in December, I still did it just because I felt like it's kind of an important big one that I wanted to do. So generally, I've been doing them, obviously, this is going to be February. Generally, I've been doing them around the middle of the month, like, so I wait till something comes out. So even if it came out at the beginning of the month, I could do it in the middle of the month. It's just like when I like to start them, but I don't go in with any like plan or agenda, just whatever. Typically something AAA that's sort of trending, a big name kind of game. The ones I'm typically trying to avoid are ones that are sequels, because probably sequels to a series that I haven't played the other games in, right? Or like if The Witcher 4 comes out, I've never played any of the Witcher games besides the first one. And see, that was part of my first playthrough Permadeath format for older games that I normally do that. I did that and I died. So then because I died there, not only did I not play the game again, because that window is 6 months to a year, but even then it's been a couple years and I still haven't played it again. But I missed out on the opportunity to then play 2 or 3, whereas if I completed it, I probably would have done that. So you see how high stakes it was. I missed out on the whole series because of it, right? And I've never gotten back around to doing it again. And so this takes a while, the whole compiling of shaders, but a good screen for an intro, I guess. So yeah, the bias of my choice here, every month I'm picking one game, right, that's AAA, so even if I do fail, it won't get so expensive, because it'll be like, it's just once a month that I'm doing this, but whether I succeed or fail, and again, it doesn't mean I'll do it necessarily every day. I really didn't feel motivated to do it with, like, I played Slitterhead like twice only, I played Indiana Jones like maybe twice, and I played Path of Exile like only once, so I didn't really feel like making a whole series out of it. But I just did like the first couple episodes just to show like, okay, we're trying new games, we're bringing this format back to that idea. It's kind of hard to explain, because I would sometimes do that in the past, but generally just normally whenever I play whatever I play, it's like, oh, it's Permadeath in some form, just because I love doing that. Even like multiplayer stuff I'm doing, like with Marvel Rivals, I did that where every hero is Permadeath. So if I lose a game, not so much if I die in a literal sense, but if I lose a game, then I can't play as them anymore, and then I have to move on. And Xbox Game Studio, so I don't know much about this, but it seems like a fantasy RPG, hopefully like open world, almost like a Skyrim. This will make you tide you over until Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, I guess. But no, it's gonna be Souls-like, which I always hate that. I've always said, the Dark Souls series copied Castlevania with the whole gothic vibe and element and the customization of your character that it had in some of the later games like Symphony of the Night, and the just the gothic vibe, the bosses, the whole style of everything, aside from the perspective which you get in like Lords of Shadows. It really, you could say Dark Souls copied Castlevania. not to diminish it either, but to say that, like, stop calling stuff Souls-like, call it Castlevania-like, or, you know, how they call it Metroidvania. It just feels like that doesn't get enough credit or acknowledgement. So, yeah, I've just seen, like, maybe an ad for it briefly, and I tend to try to stay in the dark, so I don't know really anything else about it. I'll play it on, like, the highest difficulty if there are difficulty settings. That's typically a rule that I go in with these as well. Yeah, typically I do it around the middle of the month, but it just depends as long as the game came out that month. So, like, we'll do one for March. That's when I just my ongoing series. Until the dark circle is barely visible. Sometimes you have to overcorrect a little bit for the sake of the stream. Like, it's barely visible here, but I'll go a little further, so it's like a little more than barely like, I think 3 is probably okay. Right, that's more than barely visible to me, but whatever. Now it'll be because it's cheating. Right, like, oh, you got carried by the better view distance quality, whatever the fuck. You know, like, people use that as an excuse. Oh, it was too easy because you had draw distance up too high or the lighting too high. Subtitles, okay, I don't want any of this to spoil things either. It's very important to me to switch to a third person. Now, can you freely choose this, or I would like to have the option maybe to switch between the two. But none of this is aim assist should definitely be off. What do you think I am on console? Aim assist, magnetism, adjust the strength of aim assist. Well, since it's off, it shouldn't matter. Attacks move towards targets. Automatically move your character towards the enemy when initiating an attack. Smoother combat flow. No, I don't want that. Hit flash mode. This effect provides immediate feedback during combat. Easier to recognize successful hits from when damage is taken. Let's do it like full immersion mode, like where you have to figure out all this shit by myself. Disabled visual flash effect will never be presented. I can just tell by their health bar or something. I don't know. I don't need all this. Incoming attack warnings. Yeah, it's called using your eyes. Like, you are the warning. You should be able to tell all this for yourself. Sprint mode toggle. Crouch mode toggle. I guess for sprint, I typically don't like a toggle. I like to probably manually hold it. Press and hold. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any difficulty setting. Yeah, I love going into these things completely blind, though, because log into Xbox Network, I don't really think I should need to do that. Game. Yeah, please don't give me a difficulty setting, actually, because I'll be screwed. Like... but no, that's typically how I like to do things too. I like to do it in every 5 minutes. It won't really matter because how many minutes should pass before the game automatically saves? Really? What if I just want to turn it off? What kind of shit is this? I've never seen that as a force, like based on time. Maybe every time you enter a building or something. Games will do that, but my point is that I like to go for like an immersive style where you go in completely blind, you don't know anything about it, but also you you turn off things that are going to be trying to help you a bit too much, which maybe sometimes I take it a bit too far, but like even all the stuff on the map, you know, people will complain like, oh, games aren't as fun as they used to be, or everything is like sort of too easy or too obvious, but also they're using guides and tutorials and add-ons and mods and, you know, quest markers and all these kind of things. If you turn all that stuff off, then you'll go back to the old days of the nostalgic kind of thing that what you would do. It's not so much the games have gotten worse. In fact, if anything, they've gotten way more complex. It's that people have become more jaded and sort of cynical with how they approach them. Of course, it's going to be too easy or simple, or everybody's going to be doing the same build and everything if you're looking stuff up and using guides and using, you know, add-ons and all that. So it's like, have games changed for the worse that way, or have players changed, right? Have you changed? And the way that I say that is basically like, you see that a lot with multiplayer stuff, MMOs. Like, people will act like, oh, it's so easy, but also they're looking up guides every step of the way as they're saying it's so easy. So you're mistaking borrowed knowledge for your own. If you play something truly blind and like you turn all this shit off, right? Imagine how it would be. And I kind of almost want to do that, right? In addition to obviously what we're doing with the Permadeath first playthrough. I don't like looking through the options this much because it might spoil certain things, but medium, I wouldn't mind if I can't even run it on very high settings because my computer is a gaming laptop, but it's from 2022, which is not really bad. But I mean, tutorial reminders that are presented when there's an unsaved player, attribute or companion. I should just keep track of that myself. Tutorial, that much I should be allowed because you gotta know how the basic mechanics work. So I guess you can't toggle between third person. You can just kind of either choose to have it on or not. So I guess I won't do it. Head bobbing. All of this is fine. Camera sway. Incoming attack warnings I turn off. Auto activate companion abilities. I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but combat blood, hit flash, aim assist should be off. All this stuff is fine. Blocking aligns to target. Look how many things they try to do to carry you. Like, fucking just let me play an actual interactive game. Like, look how many things I would have to turn off to make it feel that way. This is a form of supplanting a difficulty setting. Like, it doesn't have one officially, seemingly, but subtitles are fine. Hide failed dialogue checks. Show conversation responses immediately. Shrink dialogue checks. Hides unselectable dialogue options. Oh, that's kind of cool because then you like, it won't spoil stuff whether you know there's something there or not, right? It won't tease you with what they are, which kind of is a double-edged sword. But loot shimmer, yeah, I want to play without all this though. Fuck it. Like a truly blind and natural experience. Make it as much like real life as possible. Most noteworthy that if you die, it's all over, right? And you don't get to try again. You don't get a second life in real life. So, you know, that, but also all these immersive elements. Auto continue conversations. No, I can. The subtitles are fine for that, but in RP, our character is just a lip reader. That's why we get to do that. Interaction icons, loot shimmer, override binding confirmation. I can figure that out. Display identifier in player character sheet. Or hide the identifier. I don't know what that means. Identifier. Like your gender identifier. Is that what they're going to get all? Everybody gets salty about chat or subtitles. Subtitle opacity fine. HUD on. I should almost turn this off. Essential gameplay, almost more immersive, minimalist experience. Make it harder to track key details. How exactly would you do it then, though? Like, you need some kind of, I don't know, always visible, go on update, or try to figure out how to do the quest without those things. Region names, experience. I like how it gives you all these options, but I mean, that should just shows you how much shit games carry you with these days, like, you take for granted. Experience is fine. Objectives is sort of fine. But what if I just want to explore and get lost in the world? I don't care. Damage numbers is okay. Aiming reticle is kind of questionable, but... Radial readying. What is this? Readied or canceled in the ability radial. Closing the radial will cast any readied abilities. I don't really understand that, but we'll see it once we go in the game. Notification duration, fine. Compass... I mean, what? That's just as long as it doesn't tell you exactly where to go, like the compass, like in Skyrim, where it'll show you like the, you know, it's not just showing you north, south, east, west. It'll show you actually landmarks on the map. I don't know. I'll try to go as minimalistic as possible. So pretty much like only thing we'll get to see is like the health and stuff, which. Including health, companion information, awareness indicators, status effects, etc. Now, see, some of this you'd like to think in a realistic sense you would be able to keep track of yourself. Like, pretend you're the character and it's like real life. You would kind of know just by your own feeling, like, what your health is like. But I guess you get that, like, red aura, like the bloody aura around the screen typically in games when you're low on health. But maybe I should do a no HUD playthrough, but... That might be a little bit too far, but I hope I didn't forget to save some of these settings. But no, I'm trying to strip it down a little bit in simplicity. I almost want to turn that off, but the HUD, that would be a true first playthrough, like, of my nature, where I try to do other formats with it. Like in Path of Exile, I had to have it be fully zoomed in and everything. I just don't want to die because I have no... Like, will it show it once I take damage then? Or status effects, etc. I don't know. That seems a little too harsh, but Keyboard, controller. I'm not using a controller. Obviously, that would be the real hard mode. You know what, dude? Let's try it, though, since we're going for a minimalist experience, and since there is no difficulty setting.
Aora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. In a cycle of reincarnation, watched over by the gods. Our gods, some of whom love us more than others. Your home, the Adiran Empire, is treasured by Wodica, Our Lady of Law and Vengeance, the burned queen. But our goddess has lately turned her eyes from us, and our empire has suffered revolts, famines, challenges to rightful rule. We lack a common purpose, but we could find it in the living lands, a rich and lawless island settled by fugitives, wanderers, exiles, and us. Yet the more we free this place from danger, the more the land fights back. And now, as our colonists crowd into Paradise, the last safe city, the locals find themselves crowded out. Many years ago, you were born to a family in our Adiran Empire, and in a rare turn of the wheel, you came into this world a godlike, touched by a patron god in the womb. To some, a blessing. To many, an abomination. You grew up an outsider, but I saw potential in you. Potential and an opportunity. And within my court, you found purpose. Now I call upon your vow to our empire and name you my envoy. Venture forth in the name of your homeland and secure our future.
The graphic style was kind of understated compared to what the game is going to be. I wonder why they did that. That made it seem like an indie game that's like, whatever, minimalistic, but yeah, that was a pretty cool intro. And so like I like that the natives, locals, got pushed out by other people coming in. Oh, you mean like the United States with the fucking immigrant crisis? Haha. Best reference of 2025. But so you were touched by the gods. In what way? I don't know exactly how you would determine that when you're in the womb. Like, do they have some actual feedback? Did somebody see that happen, or how do you determine that, like that we were touched by the gods? And so it's like it almost makes me think of like Rosemary's Baby, how like she's born from the devil, right? Or she has a kid with the devil instead of her husband. But like, how are you even aware of that happening? Right, and then why would the parents even tell you that? That maybe the doctor who works for the king would not hide it, but I tend to not really care godlike features. No, we want to hide the fact that you are a god. I don't want to read all this though, not because I don't like reading flavor, but because I don't like, I don't want to spoil too much. But I guess it's telling you for a reason, so I wouldn't consider it a spoiler. You hail from the Adrian Empire, one of the world's major colonial powers. Adir is a nation forged by centuries of war between neighboring human and elven kingdoms formed by their eventual alliance. Your emperor chose you to journey to the living lands and investigate the Dream Scourge. So the land sort of fights back when you try to conquer it. Interesting. You are a god, like a rare individual born, blessed, or cursed with a connection to one of the gods. I like that implication because that shows you it'll be dictated by your playstyle, right? Like, oh, if you're a good guy, you're blessed, but if you choose to be evil, that'll be considered like you're cursed, right? So it's all interpretation. Kind of like we can use this as a way to ridicule religion, like I always do in my debate format and stuff. Like, oh, they're just blaming the gods for, oh, everything started to go bad, war, famine, disease, because our god has turned away from us. Like, so you think, it's like you give credit to them. Oh, everything's good because of them. But then when things go bad, you still believe in them, and you say, you don't blame them for when things go bad. You only thank them for when things go good. Like, oh, thanks for saving us from this horrible tragedy, but you don't blame them for putting you in that tragedy in the first place. Right, like that's a fallacy of religion in real life that people always do. Or I like the way they said that too in the intro, like some of the gods love us more than others, to imply that every country will have its own god that, like, oh, they believe this god is on their side, so that's what makes everything good. And then you believe another god is on your side, so whatever, you know, you each attach that to your own country, like, oh, they love us more, and they, you know, that one loves that country more, and so we're at odds with each other. They're kind of just supplanting, right, their own interest for, oh, it's a god that's making it so. Kind of like in real life, where you just kind of use it as a placeholder for something. But no, I kind of want to minimize these features, right? We don't want to show off too much to you know, that we are a god. Like, we'd want to hide it. A rare individual born or cursed with a connection to one of the gods, godlike manifest their divine. Yeah, which one was it too? I guess we determined that maybe actively. That's kind of a good term. You know how each of these games will, in Fallout, you're the lone wanderer. In Skyrim, you're the dragonborn. In Oblivion, you're something that I forget what it's called. So here, you're a godlike, or the godlike, right? It'll be like your nameless title, because of course, you don't have a name in lore in most of these games, right? You're just some generic character who has significance. Like, oh, you're the dragonborn, so you're the godlike in this one. Godlike manifests their divine heritage and unique physical features and innate abilities that reflect their patron deity. Or we could make a point to hide it. Like, we have one of them as a feature, but then we wear like a helmet to cover it on purpose, right? Something like that. Different cultures may view this with suspicion, reverence, or curiosity. Strangely enough, many of the godlike have disappeared from the world in recent years, but you have not. Stranger still, you have never learned which god touched your soul, or how did we even know that they did? Like, display godlike facial features in game. NPCs will still react. Well, why wouldn't I want to, if I wanted to have them? Well, this is like, I'm a fucking bloater, dude. These look weird as hell. I can't even see shit. What the fuck are some of these? But no, I want it to be something like, well, I guess it wouldn't be up to me then, but, you know, it's like a birthmark, but then I'll try to hide it with a thing. Or like, what if I just don't have any then? I guess you can't, right? The mechanic, like, even if you say no, they'll still react to it. And even if I do this, so I'll cover it for RP purposes. That one sort of blends in. You'd barely even be able to tell. Which one did we start with? I'll maybe just keep that. I'll try to wear a helmet to kind of not draw attention to it, but people will still see it. Display godlike hair features in game. This is all making me think of like I'm a fungi kind of, you know, bloater, infected, something like that. Clicker from The Last of Us. Even that I would also say is sort of a, what do you call it? I mostly don't care too much how I look with all this, right? I normally don't care about this, especially since it's going to be a first-person kind of game, but even if I played it in third person, it's weird that it makes you choose that from the menu, though. Like, that means you can't actively change within the course of the game, or maybe you can. I'm fine generally with how this looks, so this will be actual character attributes. Oh no, there is a difficulty setting. It baited me. I thought there wasn't going to be. Fuck. That's going to make it even harder, and I have all the UI and shit turned off, but whatever, I'll deal with it. Arcane Scholar. I typically like playing magic characters, but maybe I won't here. Your background provides some unique... Or wait a second. Where did we get like our actual race? This doesn't give you like a... Oh, that's just a preset. Wait, I'm a little confused. What did I... It's not giving you like a big race body type, right? List of races like orc and this and that. Maybe you're like only human or elf seem to be the two that you're basically choosing from, but it doesn't make it super clear. Your background provides unique dialogue options and determines your starting weapon. All equipment and abilities are available regardless of your background. After graduating with honors from Unhill, yeah, I'm gonna really brag about that one. Academy, you published a treatise on soul lineages that threatened the legitimacy and drew the ire of a local lord. When he had you arrested, the emperor intervened and recruited you into the archive. Oh, so you were already on your own. I thought the emperor took you, the way that cutscene made it look was like the emperor took you under his wing at the beginning when he found out you were right, like when you were a baby, he found out, and then he immediately started to groom you, I guess. But in this case, you went to school. Well, I guess it would depend on which one of these you interpret, but you were living your own life, and then you pissed somebody off, and then he recruited you into the archives of the imperial court. Your mind is a bottomless well of occult knowledge, legal precedent, historical observation, and poetry. You've forgotten more than most people ever learn. And court augur, when you're, this will be like very charismatic based, so like a mage, like some sort of charisma speech character, maybe like a economy focused character, war hero, obviously warrior, and an archer. These two are kind of a little vague. You might have some illusion magic or something like that in there. I'm treating it like it actually is Skyrim, but that would be awesome if it's similar. When your village's crops failed, your strange insights and unsettling manner earned your neighbor's suspicion. You foresaw the torches and pitchforks and fled to High Crown, where the emperor recognized your talents and elevated you from back alley fortune teller to his personal mystic. You have learned how to wield power from the shadows. This is sort of like stealth as well. All it takes is a dash of influence and a pinch of deception. You were born noble Scion, however you even say this, Scion. You were born to a noble house of great influence, middling wealth, and questionable morals. When scandals and succession disputes saw your family cast down, you threw yourself on the emperor's mercy and he shielded you. Canny yet refined, you've become a formidable force at court and an invaluable ally to the emperor. All of these the emperor seems to like. This one is sort of unclear. Questionable morals. This is like telling you a story, but it doesn't tell you too much like what you're doing. This one's clearly magic. This one's clearly like stealth / trickery magic, something like that. This one's sort of just very vague. Like, are you just this is like more charisma speech focused almost. Like, what would be your starting weapon with this one? Like, it doesn't have any real identity to it combat wise. Vanguard Scout, born to humble beginnings and driven to desperation by famine. Your life was destined to end on the executioner's block. Oh, here we go, bro. You're literally, each of these could be a reference from one of the Elder Scrolls games. Like, oh, this is how you start in Morrowind, and this is how you start, because this one's like that for Skyrim. Like, or a lot of the games are like that. You're about to be executed or you're in jail, right? Born to humble beginnings and driven to desperation by famine, your life was destined to end on the executioner's block until the emperor spared you. You're literally oblivion. Right, the way that the emperor there kind of vouches for you and gets you out before he dies. You're more at ease in the wilderness than in court, but your cleverness and wait, what? You're more at ease in the wilderness than in court, but your cleverness and observant nature have made you one of the emperor's most trusted operatives. Whether tracking prey or spying on enemies, your skills are put to work both inside and outside the throne room. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time in a fucking room, though. Like, it's an open world game. We don't want to be doing missions in general. I'll just kind of wander around. And I want it to be even more organic like that, where I don't even have the quest trackers on. Like, if I stumble upon it, I stumble upon it, but I don't really care. Like, I'm not gonna, do one thing in particular. I'll just kind of wander around and see where it takes me. War hero, you distinguish yourself on the field of battle, fighting a violent Skanite uprising. And the emperor honored you with a place among the elite tall grass spearmen. Some of your scars are less obvious than others, but you wear them all with pride. The emperor values your loyalty, your grit, and your martial prowess. So, in a way, though, you could interpret all of this as like, oh, you started with an unfair advantage of the godlike quality that is the only reason why you're good at any of this stuff. I almost want to do this one just because I'm curious what it even means. Like, what would we start with as like our starting weapon? Right, like, again, this will be like you're a mage, this is a warrior, this is a hunter, archer, whatever. But these two are very unclear. I'll actually do this just out of pure curiosity, even though... Or let's see, maybe if they each have their own... Oh, no, I thought it would change based on which one I choose. But no, this almost seems more like a speech type thing, which I don't really get. Or you might start with, like, more money. Right, I wouldn't want to start with just, whatever... Like, I don't want to do it mage just because I do that so often, but I maybe should. And I can still play like one anyway, but let's see what we decide here. I'm going to do like a one stat only character. Right, but all these are going to be combat based. Like, where's the charisma and stuff like that? A character's physical and spiritual strength, brute force, as well as their ability to channel powerful magic. I don't like how those are tied together, though. Like, physical, this should be separate from magic, right? Physical and magic. Increase your damage from all sources. Carry capacity also increased, which is the amount of weapons armor you can carry before becoming encumbered. All-around choice for dealing more damage. Constitution, a combination of the character's overall health and endurance. Increase your maximum health and your resistance to poison and bleeding status. Improve survivabilities for players who like to be in the fray. So health, resistance to poison, dexterity, a character's hand-eye coordination, balance, overall grace. Increase your attack speed, weapon abilities, as well as your action speed. Equips consumable use, parkour, and reload speed. There's going to be parkour in this. Good for builds where mobility and flexible use of your arsenal is key. Let's see. A character's senses, as well as their instinctive ability to pick up on details, increase the critical hit chance and your maximum range for weapons. Wands, guns, bows will be more effective at longer ranges. Ideal for rangers and casters who favor ranged weapons. It's kind of a bit of a redundant statement. Rangers who favor ranged weapons. Intellect, a character's logic and reasoning capabilities. Increase your maximum essence, your resistance to ignited, shocked, and frozen statuses, which I guess those will be the only 3 schools of magic then. Great for wizards who focus on spellcasting. I love these little things at the bottom, are so banal and obvious. Character's internal drive, determination, fearlessness. Increase your maximum stamina and the frequency and efficiency of second wind. When taking lethal damage, you will fight off death more. That should be what I do because I'm permadeath, but you will fight off death more frequently and jump back in with more health. Good for warriors who need to swing heavy weapons and survive big hits. I'm a little confused though. The second wind efficiency is good, but I don't get drive, determination, fearlessness, maximum stamina. I don't know. That one seems like it would be a good skill, but let's do like a strength only character. How about that? Wait, does that mean I get those back, or no? It doesn't let you put them all in one thing. Like, we'll do maybe these two then. Might and resolve. Mainly I want that for the second win. I'd put them all in the same thing if I could. Max for character creation is 3 points available. 4. Oh, you have to do it though. Fuck. So these will be like the 3 that I'm prioritizing, or I'll put in like 2 and 2 then and something else. Like, that's stupid. Like, then it makes you feel like you have less identity. I'd put them all in here if it would let me do that, right? Even with the downside of what it has, which is hilarious in the original Fallout. Like, if you do that, then you don't have enough intelligence not to do certain playstyles, but literally to talk to people. So my character goes around. That's kind of more punishing than what modern games would do, but it's like you go around and you can't even speak to characters because you don't know English because your character's too dumb. Like, intellect, I don't really want even that. Mobility, maximum health, 3. I don't know. I guess I'll go with that. So you're generally like a warrior type, and please don't reset that. Okay, so it's kind of dumb though because it makes you choose like literally everything because you can't overcommit. Game difficulty, okay, bro. This is gonna be it. Game's difficulty can be changed at any point in the setting of menu. Story time difficulty is recommended for players. I like how I like the name of that even. Right, you're just a filthy casual fucking who's in it only for the story. Recommended for players who are more interested in exploration and story development than challenge from combat. Combat is biased in the player's favor. The easy difficulty requires minimal strategization and easily forgives mistakes in combat. It is recommended for those who are new to action-based RPGs. Normal difficulty requires strategy and efficiency, but forgives a few mistakes in combat. The hard difficulty is suited for action RPG players who are looking for a challenge. Survival requires strategization of stats through different equipment, abilities, and upgrades. Path of the Damned is only intended for players who desire the most punishing encounters. It requires mastermind strategization of builds and loadouts, and above all, perseverance. Obviously, we got to do it. I'll do 4 just because it was the only one I could really hear very clearly. Some of the other ones like start off like they're whispering. he, she, they. Let's just do they. I never understood that. They is plural, so I don't know what the whole hype around that is. Like, but no, like we're a godlike being that defies gender, right? For a different reason, not for the modern interpretation in real life, why people care about that, right? But because we're born of the gods, we don't really care about stuff like that. Display identifier. No. Display godlike features in game, sure. Again, they'll react regardless whether you show them or not. But it should be like you get a chance to cover them up. So like if I wear a helmet here, or you could be the envoy, or you could be the godlike. Basically, either of those could be like your title, the way that you're the dragonborn or whatever, you know. What should be my RP name? That's one that I've used a lot. You know what? Let's actually do it. Whatever. It's just a character that I've written about in short stories and stuff. Living Land, Spring 2831. There's gonna be like some Lovecraftian shit where the nature tries to attack you back and destroy your house and stuff like that we saw. It's always weird when games with such good graphics do that. Like the intro was so basic, right? The graphics there were like very still shot, kind of again, the sort of thing I'd expect to see in an indie game. It wasn't bad, but it's just kind of, when you have this kind of visual to show off, why would you do that?
What do you know of the living land?
That was almost a little comical how it showed that.
The rumors and tales are so vexing, they cannot be true. And yet they are. Those untamed wilds, overgrown with the most curious wonders and the most dreadful abominations.
So you're gonna send me there to my death.
Within the heart of that soil, something vile stirs beneath the earth, seething with rot and decay.
Ah, the Lovecraft.
Growing beyond everything it touches.
Lovecraft prediction was very correct, huh? Good excuse for enemy types, just corrupt everything that's already there. Natural life.
Tendrils reach towards us to lash out at the Empire itself. I command you, go to the living lands, find the roots, and if necessary, sever them.
That's just an excuse for you to take over the lands first.
One boy, remember your vow.
My only vow is to survive, even
Rest upon you.
at the expense of whatever shit you want me to do, right? That comes first. If I have to betray you later to survive, I'll do it. Right, in the course of becoming an evil character or betraying the king. That should totally be an option, too. Like, he'll send assassins after you to kill you because you did something, you start to favor another country or something against him, right? Just because you feel like, and then he tries to kill you, too. That would be a great story point. As like an optional playstyle if you choose to be evil or do something else. Now we're gonna be washed up ashore unexpectedly, like at the beginning of fucking New World or something. Yeah, what is this art style that is going for though? Why does this all look so? This is like concept art that doesn't match with how the game looks at all. But yeah, it's going to be first person. It's going to be limited UI, if not no UI. And then it's also going to be on the highest difficulty and permadeath. So it's quite a bit, but should be maximum level immersion. The only thing I don't like is if I can't see my health at all, but I guess I'll deal with that. A lot of games start off in the same sort of context. Like the beginning of Path of Exile, you start off on a beach, or New World. Those two come to mind. The first Path of Exile, at least. Or no, I think the second one's kind of like that, too. I should know. I just played it literally last month, but... Yeah, let's just ignore him and go our own way. But if we do that, this thing's very familiar to me. It's like the thing that's on my fucking head, right? Where we have a little bit of those. We can't switch out of. We can't switch out of. So you can only use one arm to punch. Interesting. But no, we're not able to see our stamina or anything. So we sprint like that. I assume it would be showing me that if not for. Oh, is it going to be really that punishing? Like you just have to assume what you can interact with? Pretty immersive way to play, honestly, but... Or this is just showing me my own thing, though. Action radio pauses time and allows you to cast abilities, ingest potions, and consumables, and equip throwables. Elements of the radio can be equipped. That's more like a console weapon wheel type of thing. I'm trying to see if like it would let me loot here, but it's not going to show me that I can loot because I... Oh no, I guess it will. Well, then what's the point of the UI? I guess it just doesn't glimmer, so you have to kind of determine for yourself.
You're alive.
I don't start the conversation. I just literally pick some shit up. How do we...
Thank the gods I pulled you out the wreck when I did. I wasn't about to let the Emperor's envoy die on my watch.
Oh, whoops, I almost just clicked that. It'll take more than... Oh, they all kind of factor in. I guess I thought one of them would be more biased towards... I thought it wasn't supposed to show that, though. Or it won't say what it is. I guess it shouldn't even show it at all. It'll take more than a strip right to kill me. I'm impressed you dragged me out.
At least the journey's not completely lost. I heard the cannons. I couldn't... We...
Or he could have just said back, be a bit of a dick. Like, it would have killed you. I'm the reason why it didn't. So it doesn't take more than that to kill you. Start with names. The ships and splinters, what happened. This can't be... Yeah, where are we?
Fort Northreach. Last Adirian outpost before the Living Lands.
And he's going to assume we clearly don't want to be going there. Do you know this place? Can't thank you enough. What's your name? Then we're not far from our goal.
The name's Garrick, quarter gunner, 3rd Adirian Fleet.
Shouldn't I be something of a celebrity where I...
Normally, I'd have gone straight uphill and sent a distress signal.
But what? The soldiers in the outpost can help us. What do we need help for?
Wish I could say that for sure.
Oh, they're going to be behaving out like corrupted.
I saw Flash's envoy. It weren't the storm that wrecked our ship. It was cannon fire. And it could only have come from Fort Northreach.
Either it could have been taken over, but really it's going to be that they're corrupted the same way that...
It makes no sense. No one fires on their own countrymen.
Unless they are not our men any longer. Someone betrayed us. We don't have time to speculate.
That's what I'm afraid of too.
Our men as in they've been corrupted, like we saw that thing get corrupted, or like they've been taken over by enemies.
In the meantime, you survived. That means we're not scuppered yet. As long as you're here, the Emperor's mission can still go ahead.
We already got plot armor in the opening fucking scene, right? Where we already get saved, but it'll never happen again. Right, the Emperor sent me to investigate a soul plague. What about the people who attacked us? We have to get to the mainland.
Then I know the place to start.
It's a little weird having this not advance on its own, but I kind of like it.
Embassy in the port of Permadeath. Once we make it there, we can regroup, figure out what to do next. I hate to say it, but the fort's probably our only chance of escape. We need supplies, and if our troops have been captured, they'll need our help.
Follow me. We need to get through this together. 3 out of 1. We'll do what we can. Let's go. We need to move fast. Don't slow me down. Which way to the fort? There's not a blackguard in Aora who can stand in our way.
Thank you. I'll keep you safe.
You should maybe choose the one that has the higher requirement to really flex it.
A good hit and we can be on our way.
Okay, so we got a sword there. We are like a melee might type character that'll stick to those kind of stats, but I don't like how it forced me to do other ones than that.
For all the good it does.
I like how he mirrors my crouching. Very nice. Is the companion AI going to be better than fucking... I think F is actually to loot, but it's not giving me any feedback on that. Inventory screen. You have 2 weapon loadouts that can be swapped by using left alt. Press left or right to equip a weapon in the main hand or offhand. Armor and clothing can be equipped by pressing left click and hidden, or transmogrified by pressing right click, which to my knowledge that typically means like you can change the appearance of stuff. Like in WoW, when they added transmog, you can like make any piece of gear look like anything else, but it would still have the same stats on it. All armor grants damage, not a word that you see very often actually in RPGs, but all armor grants damage reduction, which negates a percentage of incoming damage. And additional reduction, which subtracts a raw number from incoming damage. Each piece of clothing provides a distinct item bonus. All accessories are unique, providing powerful benefits. You can equip to 1 trinket or amulet and up to 2 rings at any given time. Yeah, I always question that in RPGs too. Why can't you wear 10 rings, right? 1 for each finger, or multiple on each for even more? Like, what would be the real in-lore explanation for that? Like, you can only handle so much power from it. Like, we're 10 shitty rings instead of 2, you know, really good ones. So abilities. Ability tree fighter. The fighter ability tree focuses on overwhelming combat force. It contains abilities tailored to dealing high damage with axes, maces, two-handed melee weapons, axe, like a battle axe, a great sword, a mace of some kind, a hammer. I don't know what it would be called. It also includes abilities that help stamina management, traversal, crowd control, blocking with shields. So that's what we're kind of going to decide to do anyway. The ranger ability tree focuses on agility and finesse. It contains abilities tailored towards range combat. You got a gun, pistol, bow, like a shotgun, or maybe a long range gun, and rapid one-handed melee attacks, dagger, sword, and like a spear. It also abilities that improve resource gathering, movement speed, stealth, and precision aim. Wizard. The wizard ability tree focuses heavily on spellcasting. It contains abilities tailored towards wands, grimoires, elemental effects, and essence management. So the 4 are like status effects, poison, whatever, lightning, fire, and freeze, which it's disappointing when games have such few element types like that. They should have more. Like Skyrim is like that, where it only has those 3. Of note is Grimoire Mastery, a passive ability that unlocks the ability to cast higher level spells contained within Grimoires. Investing ability points in Grimoire Mastery also allows you to permanently unlock those higher level spells without a Grimoire. Equipped, adding them to your action radial. Fine. Godlike. Ability tree godlike. Godlike ability tree contains abilities innate to you as a godlike. This will be like the shouts maybe in terms of... That animation looks fucking sick. Or like whatever weapon he's using there. The abilities will be unlocked at key moments in your journey and will be different depending on choices you make, which I guess doesn't really matter because... Oh, I guess it's not really a weapon. I thought that was just an example, but grants a stealth attack against unaware enemies while crouched behind them. Summons a lance of energy that causes massive damage. You were born with this power. Now, is that because of some of the things I already chose, like the stats I started with? It might be different otherwise. We're definitely going to do fighter, and like I said, we have the might and the health, stamina, melee damage, all the kind of shit that we have to worry about. So, available point... Oh, I can't even use it yet. Cost is 20 essence. Charge. Fighter active. Dash forward and smash into anything in your way, interrupting enemies and dealing explosive damage to break enemy blocks, destroy walls, and shatter frozen enemies for bonus damage. I give it a +1 for the whole destructible environment implication there. The character screen always shows your stats. From this screen, you can... I'm dyslexic where I even add in words. You can view attributes. So like the strength, the endurance, constitution, dexterity, intellect, whatever, charisma. There isn't actually a charisma in this game, but... And they're related bonuses. And increase your abilities by spending attribute points gained by leveling up. Attribute points will cap out after a certain point. Oh, but I'm the one stat Andy where I try to keep going with it even then. That's part of the hard mode. You can also reset your attribute points in exchange for currency. On the right side of the screen is a comprehensive summary of your character's statistics, including your background, level damage reduction granted by your armor, critical hit chance of your weapons, and status effects, unlocked abilities. Okay, we looked through this. So like I said, might is my main priority. Resolve, like if I had to rank them, it would go might, then resolve, then constitution, then dexterity, but it didn't matter because I kind of got screwed with it forced me to only put 3 in there, which maybe it'll always do that. Like you can only put 3 at a time, but you might only get like 1 or 2 at a time per level, so it won't matter. Then I'll just keep stacking it. Even though it says it caps out, I almost don't care. I would still do it. 60 out of 115 health. Essence, I don't know if health auto regens. That's always something that, you know, like Oblivion and Fallout 3 were more punishing with that, where they don't regenerate automatically. Your mana does, but Essence 0 out of 140 is going to be like your magic, basically. Stamina 145. Damage reduction is only 2%. Additional damage reduction is 2. So again, the percent plus the raw value. Base critical chance, critical damage bonus 50%. Current loadout, main critical hit chance is 9%. Offhand, I don't even think I have an offhand. Or I didn't even equip anything yet. So main hand critical chance. Oh yeah, my loadouts are the same for now. Elemental accumulation. So you have bleed, poison, shock. This will be like your, you know, negative status effects. Fire, frost, shock, poison, bleed. Godlike abilities, divine thorn is obviously the fighter abilities, ranger abilities, wizard abilities. Abilities are always interesting in games like this beyond just spells. Like you think about Skyrim, where you have very few, but the few that there are interesting, like, you know, shield charge you get, where it's like, oh, you combine raising your shield, a block input with a sprint input, and now it works as, oh, shield charge, where you knock down an enemy. It's kind of an intuitive way to do it in a game that doesn't have traditional abilities. Like you're just combining 2 existing inputs to do something new, as if it's an ability, but it's not like it's just, oh, press 1 to do a shield slam or press 2 to do a charge. Like, you're not actually doing that. You're actually doing the full motion of what would make sense to do it. Peaceful resolutions 1. I guess that counts as just this guy that we talked to. Inventory. Okay, dude. I always have a temptation to read everything, but let's just stall it out as much as possible, because that's the point, right? I don't care if I make even a very little amount of progress. Wield and main hand. Let's see. 16 physical damage, 10 stun. Common qualities, stamina cost, 3% critical hit chance, upgrade requirements, iron chunk, Paradisian ladder, iron chunk. This sword is likely pulled from a fighting pit or cast aside in the midst of a territorial conflict. Its achievements are well hidden or yet to be written. Regardless of its past, it seems sturdy and reliable at present. It really went all out on that flavor text, almost like it's the first item in the game that everybody's guaranteed to get. Common Adrian R, like it has a whole storyline. Oh, it has, its exploits are yet to be written. Like, this is really going to be something we keep the whole game. 2% damage reduction, 2 additional damage reduction, minus 20 stamina, minus 10 essence. Wait, what? So they have substantial negative effects. Like, why would I even want to do it then? It's not even worth it for that. Breakdown pelt requires pelts to upgrade. Paradisian ladder. Defensive guard providing well-rounded protection and clear allegiance to the Emperor, which we may or may not decide to stay on that train with him, as I was saying. Like, we could go against him, or I hope he sends assassins to come kill us if we do that. Court gloves, bold gloves meant to indicate status within the Adrian court. Royal issued footwear typically given to Adrian messengers for their assignments, but maybe we want to keep a low profile here a little bit. We have all this equipped, and then health potion. These crimson liquids are attributed to powers of recuperation, restoring energy and liveliness to the weary or wounded. Doesn't really tell you how much exactly it gives you though. The Emperor's orders. Okay, that'll be like your quest log, or I mean, it's not really quest log, but just quest items. Envoy, our ambassador in the living land, sent warning of an unrest and brewing conflict in the port city of Paradise. Most worrisome are all the rumors of the dream scourge, a plague that corrupts its victims in body and soul. The court of Adir is much disturbed by these unwelcome developments, any of which could threaten the stability of our interests in the frontier. So you're just using that as a pretense. So like I said, oh, every country is going to want to come and do it. Oh no, the tendrils are encroaching upon our land, so let's go conquer it first, right? Before it gets to us, when really it's just an excuse for everybody to try to get there first. The court of Adir is much disturbed by these unwelcome developments, any of which threaten the stability of our frontier. Therefore, you, Aral, are named loyal servant of the Adrian Empire. If I was true to my own character, he would be more like an economist, where he would just get rich and make everybody do everything for him, right? Rather than actually doing it himself, which may be a legitimate playstyle. Yeah, we'll get like an ally. Or that was one interesting character type that I made in Skyrim, like, where I'm not allowed to attack and I only have healing hands, and so I rely on having companions. The only problem is that the companion AI and stuff is busted, where like they won't actually die. They'll get knocked down and then they can recover. If they die just like you did when they get low, and if you let them get too low, they just die, right? Then it would make it meaningful to try to heal them. So I was only allowed to heal and buff my allies. I wasn't allowed to attack. And so it's making it like you're a healer in an MMO, except it's a single player game where you're just relying on your allies and pets and summons and stuff. Therefore, you are named loyal servant of the Adrian Empire who travels with the authority of the throne. We grant you privilege and immunity to dispense our laws as you see fit and remove all obstacles by any means. Find the root of the plague and burn it out. So we're already starting off with pretty high stature, though. Quest tab of the journal displays every quest you've required, grouped by region. Main story quests will always be at the top, followed by side quests, companion quests, bounties, and treasure maps. This icon, skull dead emoji. Don't get the little kids excited playing this. Next to a quest indicates there'll be a higher challenge based on your currently equipped gear, but we won't have that because we'll turn off all the UI and then we won't know. Like, at least that much should show up, but... You find yourself shipwrecked on strange shores on an island off the coast of the living lands. Investigate your surroundings and find a way to reach the port of Dawn Shore. Reach the outpost. Garrick believes the soldiers in the nearby Adrian outpost can help. Make your way off the beach and inquire there. Find a weapon, arm yourself. You see no immediate threat. Better be prepared. Talk to the survivor of the shipwreck. Okay. Like, you can spend an hour just doing this, like where you just go through. This is how I'll pad the beginning of the playthrough, because of course it's going to be a long one where if I die, you know, it's all over. So it's twofold, right? Oh, I'm padding it because I want this to last as long as possible. So clearly if I die early on, at least I got a certain amount of gameplay and my money's worth just from, you know, being so thorough with reading all the tooltips and stuff. But also everything I'm doing here could help me survive in the long term. Like, oh, I might learn something that, you know, so that's the local map. This is the world map. So this is like the art style from the beginning, you know, that we're getting that same vibe. You have like a snowy region here. You have, this actually looks very cool though. You know, clear separation of biomes though. You go from a volcano. This is the most extreme example. You go from volcanoes to literal snow to, you know, grasslands, like a swampy, marshy area. You know, just the forest, grasslands. This looks a little swampy too. I can't really tell. A lot of just grasslands, mountains, and then like a dry, arid area, desert. One thing that when I first started playing Skyrim, like I went from Riverwood to whatever, Whiterun or something like that, or Helgen where you start, and I was disappointed. Like, oh wow, I went from here to here on the map in like no time at all. That means this game's actually pretty small and it won't last long at all. But what's deceptive is it's not that the map is that big in Skyrim, although it's okay size, but it's more that it's like content density. Like, there's so much to do. There'll be like a dungeon every 5 steps and they keep resetting and they keep giving you different, you know, relevant things to do. So that's kind of the point. It's not so much how big the map is, but how much content there actually is in it. Case in point being GTA 5, or, you know, just the GTA series, where the maps are of decent size, but there's nothing to do in them, right? It's sort of empty. If you take away the online, if you look at the single player of GTA 5 or even GTA 4, there's not really a whole lot to do. You'll kind of wander around, but unless you're doing a mission or unless you're just killing cops randomly, there isn't like a lot of, you know, little mini missions and structure to do, which is why I like the Vigilante mission so much. But they removed that even in GTA 5 from GTA 4, where you could go anywhere on the map and still have a relevant kind of combat encounter with gang activity and stuff. So my point is that sometimes it's not the map size, but it's the content density that is in question. Documents tab of the journal allows you to refer to significant writings found on your journey. Documents are stored by region of origin. Yeah, this seems really good. I mean, it seems literally like this is your Elder Scrolls 5.5 that you could, you know, use to tide you over until 6. The tutorials of the tab of the journal contain, and you can be damn sure that I'll do GTA 6 in this format, obviously, when it comes out. I don't even know when it's coming out now, but you know, maybe that was part of what encouraged me when I start hearing the rumblings about that. Like, I better get back in the groove of doing these for new games when I typically just do them for older random things that I haven't played. But, you know, it's a pretty fitting format. So like, I'll do, when GTA 6 comes out, I'll do a first playthrough permanent of that. When Elder Scrolls comes out, I'll do that. And for games of that magnitude, I should really bring my A game and actually not die so quickly like I do in some of them. Like Path of Exile 2, I died on one character, but I made a hybrid format of that. So I displayed, like, in the first 3 months, I displayed every format possible for this. Like, For Slitterhead, I did a raw first playthrough permadeath where if I die, the playthrough's over and I can't play it again for another 6 months, and that's it, right? Just uninstall the game. There's no other format. It's just like either you live and win or you beat the game, or you die and it's over, right? You don't get to restart. Then with Indiana Jones, I said I can restart as much as I want, so I can die, but then it's still a permadeath first playthrough because I'm never beaten it, and if I die, I just have to start at the beginning of the game and delete the save. And then Path of Exile 2, I did like one that I typically do in MMOs, where it's like every character gets its own life. So we have like 5 different classes, 5 or 6. I think it's 6. So every class gets its own life. So I played as like the Berserker, the Warrior, whatever. And so that class got its life, as in I died with them, but then I played as I can't even remember. I played as like the monk, and so that was my second life. So now I can't go back and play the warrior ever again, right? So now if I die as the monk, then I can't play as them ever again. So that's like a hybrid format for each class. And then this one is going to be a true permadeath, where if I die, it's just over. That's it. I'm not going to make an exception for this one, right? On my word, even though I did that for a couple of the last ones. But the tutorials tab of the journal contains all unlocked tutorials. Like, you got to treat this as a very meaningful thing, but the difficulty is on maximum, and I'm playing with like minimal UI and everything, so that's just the format setup that we're trying to do. Refer to it when you're unsure of how something works or if you're in need of a refresher. Okay, dude, I don't want to. I'm the type to read all this, but I love that from my intro of, I should really upload that. My intro of Anthem, where the first episode I sit there for like 2 hours just reading all the shit. At least it felt like that. Maybe I should just read the, oh, wow. Reviving companions. Like, do I really have to read this right now? I'm just the type to want to do it, like I even said. But breaking, I guess it's not really relevant right now. We can always do it later.
With that, I don't understand. Why would they fire on us, their own people? No use wondering. We've got to make sure our troops are safe.
But no, it's a case where that one, you know, the whole, oh, Souls-like thing is way overused. Number one, give more credit to Castlevania and some of the originator of that, but also, you know, Dark Souls copied Castlevania more than other games copy Dark Souls now. But even then, every game wants to call itself that, like, oh, it's a Souls like this, Souls like that. Your health is low. Do I even want to waste a potion? E from Radial. I kind of don't want to use that, though. Can I just... How does this work as far as the hotkeys? Okay. Click sauce 1 to 6 if it's assigned. So this is... What would this be? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 3 options. What? I'm so confused. Wait, did I even do it or what? Abilities, character, inventory, health potion. How do you like... Okay, fine, I'll just do it, but I'm a little confused as to the radial thing. Like, swords swing quickly, delivering moderate damage output. However, they deal low stun and have very low block efficiency, incurring a high stamina cost when blocking. Okay, and then hold the right click to block. Only possible when your offhand is empty or holding a shield. So what I was gonna say is, how do you do the dodge? Press space while moving ASD sideways or backwards. Oh, normally you'll do like a double tap in games. That could actually get annoying because you'll sometimes do it when you don't mean to. Like, feel like I'm trying to jump over that to the right. You jump first, then move, instead of now you just move and do a jump in that direction. Usually, like I said, games will do that where you double tap. So you hold E. I'm very confused as to what this means. Okay, we click that. Okay, it shows kind of in a sub menu, but how do I like equip bind ability? I don't know. Like, what if I wanted to put the potion on a different one? But no, those kind of weapon wheels or ability wheels are like very console friendly, where you're basically able to wait, why did it unequip that even? That's alt. Take silver fenning. We're looting everybody's dead body on the beach, and then we'll wonder why we're getting attacked. Like, how did they know that we're not the bad guys for doing that? Right, when you come upon dead bodies, you just take all their shit. No questions asked, even if they're your own people or you know, we're gonna put it to good use, clearly. You can break through there. Sometimes people find my style of play annoying for this reason, the fact that
Well, I don't suppose they were using that either.
yeah, he has the same prognostication as me, because like, oh duh, you're supposed to go through there, you're stupid. Like, I know that, but like, I don't want to hurt that guy's dead body though. The copper's added there, but no, but this seems really good. I'll do a full playthrough of this too, but I mean, it'll be up to whether I survive, but also just in general, I don't typically stay very consistent with these series. I just kind of do them on a whim, so I works for that as well. I want to equip this to a thing that I don't understand how to do, because this is the consumables, but like, what if I want to bind something else to it? Right, I want to put the potion here, but I can't. Like maybe that one you just can't do. Or more to the point, what if I hit 5 here? Like, what is the number key that's relevant there? Like, I put this on 5, or 1 to 6 bind ability. Okay, here, so we can put that on 1, or I don't want it on 1 though, I'll put it on 6. So health definitely doesn't regenerate automatically, or that potion wouldn't have been usable after so long, or yeah, there is like a parkour element to it as well, which my character is not really going to be as into that, but I'm going to make a two-handed only character, by which, oh, we can't use a shield, and I'm only going to get like strength and melee stuff, even though I'm going to be in a permadeath context, which is like the worst thing to do. Makeshift graves, the words etched into the wood read, here lies Brit, faithful quartermaster, Sir Nemnock to the end. But see, in real RP quality, it would actually say it on there. Like, where does it say that even? Is that like accurate to lore writing? Like, we can remember that and hold it accountable for later. The words etched into the wood read, here lies Emmeline, man at arms, the bravest of us.
I shall.
Yeah, we are kind of the boss and authority figure's sake, because we are loved by the Emperor and we're given all this authority, but it's going to turn out to be a twist that we attack to break the object. Okay. They were actually sending us to our death because we become too powerful and they can't control us anymore. So, you know, there'll be some intrigue with that. Because it starts off almost too good in that way as a plot device that, like, oh, our Emperor loves us, and we're, you know, sometimes you start off in these games like a nobody. You might be the Dragonborn, but nobody even knows it, and you're just some random person who is about to be executed, or even Oblivion, or even like the Lone Wanderer. Look at that, though. Your mobility is actually quite good. You couldn't do shit like that in Skyrim unless you use like Whirlwind Sprint. I'm gonna end up dying to some kind of a invisible wall or fall damage or some shit. No, that was a very impressive jump. Like, look at this, dude. We're grabbing onto like some invisible space in front of it. Even it's like overly forgiving. I don't know what that was. We kind of flinched at something there. But no, we're going to try to play it a little careful, but then again, range is always a cheese thing that you can survive with. There's like 3 things that you could do to try to play as safe as possible, which I'm not going to do because for whatever reason I felt like being a glutton for punishment and playing as a melee character. But you could do number 1, be a ranged character, whether magic or bows. Number 2, you could be like a stealth character, and number 3, or, you know, stealth or just avoid combat altogether, be like a charisma character. But number 3, you could be a dude who it's the way he's always looking at me is kind of comical. The way that you could do it is either a healing type of character, or you could do a I sort of item spam, but there was something else. Oh yeah, like rely on companions. So those are like the 3 cheese playstyles that if you want to be safe in any RPG, play as a ranged character where you can rely on your bow, rely on your magic, play as a stealth character, or just avoid combat altogether like a charisma character, and then play behind minions like a summoner, let them do all the work for you, companion, AI, you know, summons, and even healing. Press that to jump. Now, is that going to be an enemy there, I assume? Or that looked that looks like the guy that we saw in the cutscene, so he's not bad until he gets corrupted. Right, now that could potentially kill you. It's always interesting to see like the earliest place you could potentially die too, because we haven't encountered any enemies yet, so let's get rid of him early so that he doesn't become a threat later. All right, with some Cthulhu type shit that we saw. That was a great call. I was even mentioning like, oh, the nature coming after you is like Lovecraftian, and then it totally turned into that. Like, as soon as we say that, that thing has that exact experience. Everything is Lovecraft, just like everything is Souls-like.
The fort's lit their distress beacon. We've got to hurry.
Maybe it's just a trap. Or we could use our little special ability here. Oh, wait, how the fuck did he get ahead of us that far? I guess I was derping around, but I feel like he almost teleported there. I thought that was somebody else. That I was almost trying to do a stealth kill on him. So how do we even do that ability if we just go into the god abilities here, godlike? So these are basically your shouts if you want to compare it, right? Your innate skills. It's a case where you grants the sounds attacking against unaware enemies while crouched, summons a lance that causes massive damage. Let's see here. What does he want me to do? I'm gonna die to fall damage or some shit.
Wind on this island.
What are you
You're back.
what are you doing? Am I supposed to jump down or? I don't like that at all. There looks like a fucking what are those things called in Fallout 3? Bro, if I jump down and die, I'll be pissed, or even I'll get killed by that thing. Why don't you go first and show me like what I'm supposed to be doing here? Because the death claws or whatever. Yes, he's pointing there. Like, what the fuck does he want me to do? Bro. I'm gonna try to do it without falling, but defeat the Zarup. Oh, what the fuck? He doesn't like my attempt to cheese there. Yeah, we can cheese with the companion AI. And the way that we could do that is second wind activate. Okay, I was already about to fucking die. And restores a portion of your health. If you become incapacitated while it's on cooldown, you will die. Decrease the second wind cooldown by putting points in resolve. Okay, I'm playing a little too face roll for this, but okay, this is what you get for the higher difficulty. He's just invincible, like fucking first encounter. But no, you can abuse this shit a little bit. Is that the god thing, or is it just a... That's like the god stealth thing. Or no, I keep forgetting that. That's what I should be using. Okay, I was even saying like the mobility is a little stiff, but I forgot that you have that little dash that I should have been using a lot more. First encounter, showing the second wind thing, which means I basically almost died there. Right, like should that almost even count? But that seems like a mechanic where it is meant to happen. Like, let me look at that thing again. The let me see here. Second wind. When taking lethal damage, you will fight off death more frequently and jump back in with more health. Right, so that's like something I can probably abuse, but I don't like how I had the first encounter like that. I was sort of underestimating it and, you know, whatever. Getting Deathclaw PTSD already. No, but this is exactly my kind of game. Even as much hype as there is for like, oh, GTA 5 this, GTA 5. I'm more of a fan even of, you know, I would much rather have... making it seem like I'll climb up there like it's parkour, and there's some shit up there like some skulls. But I'm more a fan even. I'd rather have Elder Scrolls 6.
Come on, the fort's up ahead.
That's not where we jumped down from, is it? We jumped down from there. What the fuck is this, and why can't I go up there? Do your little shitty parkour, man. What? I even see a hole. I could climb up this shit in real life. Just put your hand in that hole and then keep going. What a clown.
You were a good ship, lass. Sleep well.
I'm just ignoring his little this you know, little heartfelt mourning of somebody while I'm just derping around the mountain. He gets ahead of me so far. What?
There's no healer about.
So you'll have little traps and shit to worry about. I would never die to a trap like in Indiana Jones, where I did that shit. So I'd have to hit it at an angle where I need like a range, throw like a little rock at it or some shit. Or I could just jump over it, I guess. Or they put a little potion there as a bait.
How many of these damn things are there?
Or I guess I could have just disarmed it from the other side. But no, that second wind should definitely count. But is there like a... Is there like a cooldown maybe on our active thing? Like, I don't fully get how that works. It'll be like, oh, just more often. But how do you know that? Frequency and efficiency of second wind. It's so random. So like maybe if I didn't have that, I would have just died. But no, I got to use the dash more. I wasn't thinking like that. Right, because typically like in Skyrim, you're thinking more like to block. You're not really thinking about doing that. Because, oh, shit. You know, you can't really use mobility like that the same way.
Gods, it's a bloodbath. They've torn the place apart from the inside.
Yeah, let me get some potions.
Were they fighting each other? Envoy, I don't like this.
Yeah, some of them must have been corrupted and taken over. By which... wait, I thought I pressed 1, though, to use the potion, but it was actually on 6. So what happened? Yeah, actually, now I don't know. I swear, I didn't hit 6. I hit 1. But maybe it... Huh, so what is it on now? It's... Because 1 is just the quantity. That's actually weird. Huh, maybe it was on that, and that saved me, because I would have totally done the wrong thing. God and Dag 3, Chirigon's note. Bowel visited for the 3rd time this week, comes nearly every day now, says insects keep crawling on him, asks for an urgent that will repel them, or an unguent that repels them. Have inspected him every time and found no evidence of bites. Abrasions from scratching getting worse. Coney Ningsdag. Siblin brought in by Emmerich and Gladenfall, found her unconscious near empty bottle of sleeping draught, administered emetic. Once she felt well enough to talk, complained of hallucination every time she closed her eyes. Mech wins Dag 5. Riordan showing signs of malnourishment, refuses food. Claims Emmerich is trying to poison him. Must discuss this with Captain. Why these behavioral changes? Is it the Arda? Adra? Starting to think I should sleep with my lancet at night. Everybody's slowly starting to go crazy. Very nice. Setting the mood there. Although the whole Lovecraftian thing is maybe a bit of a cliche that like, oh, how convenient, right? We can turn everything into an enemy type because everything's being corrupted. Like, I don't want to be too hard on it, but it's a little kind of like my own birthmarks. They've been marked by the gods. It's a good thing. Right? That's kind of how we look, like with spores and shit. Like, how would you be able to distinguish that now from some of these abrasions? No, this is almost starting like a little horror vibe to it. The music and the whole atmosphere is almost a little scary. But no, the second wind will be fine, but I can't rely on it too much. I was just doing that to demonstrate it, of course, but I don't know if it was guaranteed to happen or not. Are they going to have a book reading mechanic like in Skyrim where there's hundreds of books and you can skill up from them and stuff? None of this is takeable, which is a real shame. I mean, I guess I would have gotten a different starting weapon for, that looks like a mana potion, but now I will be more OCD with trying to loot because it might not register it normally, right? It won't show me in a way that, like... Yeah, a Bethesda game will let you pick up all of this shit, even if you can't use it, or even if it doesn't serve a purpose, or it'll be something you can make, you know, little potions and recipes with later. You can't go through there. But no, I should almost use the stealth system a little bit.
Soldiers praying around that Adra pillar. Hope it helped their souls find the beyond.
Who rise from slumber? Is it you?
Or they're mistaking us for their master because we have the godlike vibe to us, that we could choose to take their side even and be evil. The voices in my head. Ooh. Common round shield. Okay, what if I say I'm not allowed to use shields? Those shields have very high block efficiency, meaning... Well, I'm not going to set a rule like that. Very low mana cost. They can be equipped in your offhand. I can totally use that if I want. I'll say maybe I can't. Oh, you can do third person with the U there. Why they make such a big deal about it in the menu then? Like, oh, you have to choose it on or off there. But no, I'll allow myself to use that. Maybe I'll say I somehow can't use range, or I can't use magic, or I don't know. I'll put some restriction on it. But you would think naturally in the course of making your character this way, you might be limited in those other areas anyway. Only equipped in your offhand. Oh no, I want a dual wield shield. Or that's one of my best ideas for an RPG element like in Fallout, where in a game like Fallout, you could have a tank character too. You know how? And I wonder if they did this in Fallout 4, because I didn't play it too much, or any of the Fallouts if they allude to this later on. Right, because I've never beaten them. But you have a tank playstyle. I can be a tank in Fallout the same way I can be with a shield here. How? Because I could have like a riot shield and use that. So I can use like a dinky little one-handed pistol and a riot shield, and that could be like a tank character in like a big suit of armor as well, and slow and kind of tanky there. So it could still take on the RPG fantasy tank, but instead of using a shield and heavy armor, you're using like a big one of those suits that kind of I forget what they're called. Right, the special suits that they have in Fallout, but also with a riot shield. So it kind of works, because there's certain games that let you do that. And so when you want to have a tank class in a first-person shooter, that's exactly how you can actually do it. We had only the one combat encounter so far, and maybe I won't do a whole lot this session, but it seems very good, very interesting.
Is this what they were like?
I wanted to do this, but how their detection skill's so good? Or no, maybe he's not. I want to do that sexy thing. These things maybe aren't even corrupted. They're just like... Wait, he's still alive?
Hit it with everything you've got.
Okay, I appreciate him doing that, but no, this almost looks like the same animation, but... Yeah, go ahead. Focus on the real threat, bro. You can even do that with your shield up, which is pretty handy. I like the physics and stuff when they die like that, but the point is that that stealth thing was cool, but it wasn't strong enough. I thought it would have just straight up killed them. So now at least we have the option of blocking in addition to doing that. We're not getting much feedback with the UI, so one of these times I'm going to run out of the... The animation looks weird, how it sort of lights up that way. The right, almost seems like we're using magic, as we're even supposed to be a melee character who doesn't like to use magic, but what the fuck? Yeah, that was a stealthy kind of thing. I thought the encounter was over. I'm gonna run out of stamina here and just die. Oh god, I don't mind using the potions. Like, what are we saving them for? Oh god, what is this shit, dude? But I get that I chose a higher difficulty. The bro is just down for the count. They even throw rocks. They're very resourceful, these guys. I mean, I like using the shield there, but something's gonna go wrong with my stamina. Can I do like a plunging attack on these bitch ass? Dude, can you get back up? Right, I would have to do that as a mechanic. Like, I'd have to revive him somehow. At least if I can get rid of one of them, but bro is not letting me do shit. Maybe I shouldn't be allowed to do that. If a teammate goes down, we just deal with it. He's just invincible. I mean, this dude can't be killed. Holy shit. And at least it's a 1v1. At least bro is playing like me with this shield. He's not giving me anything. What is he doing? Even then he won't retaliate. Like, what the fuck? Gotta be patient with it. That's one thing Skyrim notably doesn't have, is the whole damage value element. So I don't get to see my stamina, my health, anything. I'm just going by the red of the shit. The red on the screen, you know. But no, they really caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting there to be more like that. But no, see, my companion there should have just straight up died. And that's it, right? That would make the healing hands playstyle actually enjoyable. Yeah, you don't always have to do that power attack. You can just do this shit. And don't greed for more than one hit. Play it like Dark Souls. Every game is Dark Souls. I can't tell whether he's really hitting here or not, but he's just invincible though. These health values are nuts. Uh-oh. My stamina is pretty low here. Let me just wait it out a little bit. I'm just kind of going on instinct because I don't get to see any of this, which is kind of cool in a way. But, you know, whatever. We could do this forever. He could have 1,000,000 health, which he seems to actually have, and it would be fine. Or I like that. See, oh, his shield is down because he's in the middle of an animation, but we still hit his shield with it. Like, you know, it doesn't register quite like that. Jesus Christ. Okay, so you got to go by the breathing. You got to figure everything out yourself intuitively. So I'll consider it that way. Like, we can't revive our downed ally if they go down. That should be considered a failure itself. But no, I really don't know what happened with the second win thing. The first time. I thought I used a potion, but I didn't because it was on the wrong hotkey, or I don't know what happened, actually. You go through there. What is that? Spring berries. 15 health regeneration, 15 essence regeneration, cures poison bleed accumulation.
There's a way to clear those brambles.
Oh, I didn't even open the door.
Margrin's Fury. That'll do it.
That'll be like my first spell, maybe.
If we can get it down, that is.
No, this is one of those games that came out of nowhere in terms of like, well, maybe not if you're paying attention, but I mean like it's its own IP and universe as far as I know. I don't know what else it's tied to, so that's at least a nice thing to see. Right, that obviously takes after other games, but sometimes these games that are similar, like, oh, you know, The Outer Worlds was supposed to be a take on Fallout, and some people liked it better than like Fallout 4, so that's a good thing where, you know, Obsidian, or, you know, the company that helped Bethesda make it, ZeniMax, whatever, right, these companies sort of break away and then they sort of they do it on their own, and that turns out to be even better or just as good, which is always good. Certain barriers can be burned with fire damage. Some spells, abilities, okay, it went away. Or no, some spells, abilities, unique weapons, naturally occurring. Magrin's Fury can produce fire damage. We said if we can get it down, so like those. So we would need something ranged to hit it with, or we could parkour like a clown that we are. Stew, spring berries, Emperor's Orders. Let's look at the key. Fort North Reach storage key. A simple key bearing an Adrian Scepter crest, clearly newer than the outpost.
Is someone there? Over here! Help! I'm locked in!
Gonna be a trap. She'll be a bandit who then tries to kill us.
What's the matter with your face?
Oh yeah, say that to all the other people here who got fucked out. But how do we get up there then? He was even saying if we can get it down. There's no ranged ability that we've gotten so far. If this was Zelda, you'd try to light that torch. I'd be OCD like that even if it just gives you the option. I was like that in Dark Souls too. There is like a pretty big torch mechanic, and it would be like, this is our first puzzle of the game, but maybe there's some other, you'll have to come around or get her to help you. Now we'll need a spell to get the thing down, to use it itself as a spell, because it's basically, you know, North Watch jail key.
We've got to tell the ambassador about this.
Stay back. I'm not catching whatever's on your head.
Yeah, we should be wearing a helmet for that reason, but they might have a legitimate reason to worry about that.
Easy. They're a godlike.
You mean a god gave you that face?
Just like God gave you yours. I know how you feel, lady.
Touched your soul and everything.
That's right.
Touch more than just my soul.
Never seen one of your kind before. I always heard folks say you were blessed. Looks more like a curse to me.
Will you shut up or I make you? You wouldn't be the first to say so. My face has gotten me this far. Calm down, I've been through enough today. If I knew which god bless me, I would ask them. Enough about me, why are you locked up? I kind of want to do one of the options, but I don't want to be so forceful. These seem kind of boring, but let's just do it.
Because the soldiers put me here. Now, am I getting out or not?
I don't even know how to get the key.
That's the Imperial envoy you're talking to. Show some respect.
The Imperial? Shite, I should have known you were Adherents too. Funny you survived while all your friends here went belly up.
Cross your arms, you have a problem. Promise to be nice and we'll help you. Yeah, like, why don't we tell us what happened?
That'd be a first. Adir's had their boot on Permadeath since their first soldiers came.
Because the place is pure chaos.
Did you not think we liked it that way? I have to smuggle just to get anything past your damn checkpoints.
I had nothing to do with that. Can't you give me the benefit of the doubt? If my people have set up checkpoints, it's good for a good reason. Parodies can't be that bad. Enough, we have to get off this island.
I'm trying. Your friend's the one picking a fight with me.
Paradisans will knife you in the back over a dirty look.
At least we don't go mad and slaughter each other.
Hey, don't blame that because it's going to be the Cthulhu influence. You're talking about this fort. I hope that's not your alibi. Our own men did sink our ship. She doesn't know anything about that, though.
You really have no idea what happened to this place, do you? The day I came, I noticed the guards talking gibberish. Then the killing started. They went wild. Stabbed their mates in their sleep.
That guy was right. He said I should keep a lance with me. Right, then what? It's horrible. How could they do such a thing?
Came, they fired the cannons. Their faces changed. That
Kind of like
soldier
mine.
here tried to strangle me. I had to defend myself.
Kind of believe it, given the circumstances. Their faces changed, but that man's face looked normal. How did you know it was cannon fire, not thunder? Why would they put a soldier in here with you?
He still did it.
I've got a bad feeling about this. It doesn't make sense.
But I mean, what is your other thing? You think that
What
she
if
did all of it?
murdered that soldier and she's just trying to cover it up?
But then what about all the other ones? What if you just unjustly accuse an innocent woman of murder? I agree, sounds suspicious, self-defense. I don't want to be like a dick to this guy either, though. All sounds suspicious. Let's hear her out.
Look, we don't have to like each other, but we can all get out alive.
At least they're dead already, though. We should be grateful that they killed each other, because even if, like, you know, at least we have less to deal with. They're not trying to kill us
I
then.
left my boat at the edge of the island. It should still be there.
Really? Why would they? How long have you been locked up in here that they would just leave it there? Let me find you a key to the cell. You'd help 2 Adrians after all that. Raise an eyebrow, keep talking. Of course you did. What's the catch? Let's just be direct.
Envoy, I've tangled with Paradisan smugglers before. She'd say just about anything to get out of that cell.
But see, I don't feel threatened by her. Like, what's she gonna do? We can...
Her story's full of holes. What if the boat's not there?
Well, we're kind of in a
She turns on us.
desperate situation. Lock her up. Tie her up in a rope.
For fuck's sake, be reasonable.
Oh, shit.
Don't listen to him.
I love her. For fuck's sake. Did you say that in the old times? Don't worry, I believe you. I want to help. I don't know if you're guilty or innocent. Let's go find the key. I'll be taking your ship. Well, we just say that to butter up.
Gods, that's the sanest thing I've heard all day.
Let's go find the key, and maybe she will betray us, but I'll be taking your ship. Okay, fine.
It's in the warden's room. They blocked it off when things went south.
Yeah, how long has this been going on for? Like, you're
I can find
acting...
a way in though. You seem smart.
It couldn't have been that long because you just... I mean, I guess we just got hit by the cannon, so maybe it's
We
all
live to
happening
regret this.
contemporaneous. As long as we live, I don't care. That's the motto of this playthrough. If I live to regret this, I'm happy because I'm still alive, so I don't give a shit about regretting anything. Right? As long as it doesn't get us killed. But we could betray her later, too. It's not like we have to obey everything she's saying, right? We're just doing that to butter her bitch ass up. As if I couldn't have done this before. Like I, totally didn't go up here anyway. What is this here? Spoiled cucumber. I mean, just holding it shouldn't corrupt me too much. Or whatever, make me sick. Essence potion. Again, that's going to be basically like magic. Magicka even. That's going to be dumb because of the case where I am worried about fall damage a little bit. But so far we haven't really seen anything too problematic with that. It's hard to know which boxes you can really break sometimes though. Why can't we pick up that arrow from within his dome there? Or really, oh yeah. This is what we'd be doing. Use the bow to finally get that. I feel like you could make the jumps here even, not to be so ballsy. The way this guy's been doing parkour, I could jump from here to there and then from there to there. I almost want to try it. I'm gonna die to fucking fall damage though if I do it. You could totally do it too. Right, this guy jumps like a fucking clown. Let me switch here. Common bow. This is supposed to be a no bow playthrough though. Oh god, I better not do stuff like that though. Right, this is too important of a playthrough to fuck up with that. So where did we get the ammo from and how much is there gonna be? I somehow don't like these animations with respect to it made all of them fall down. Or oh, we don't even get to pick it up. Like, okay, for all intensive purposes, right, that's just like a puzzle solving purpose, but no, this is also what she was talking about, right? It's blocked off, so that has nothing to do with it. But maybe we can get there from here. Well, I tried to go there, dude. You can find some other way from there. Or maybe there's something else up here. Oh yeah, if you just fall down, that would probably do it for you. Oh shit. I'm very scared of fall damage, but I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? The people are starting to get locked in here because they're acting all crazy. Interrogation log. Day 1, prisoner apprehended at docking, loading dock outside Fort Northreach. Detained immediately under suspicion of extra-legal activity. Moved to holding cell within the fort for further questioning. Demeanor sullen and defiant. Refused to verbally engage with guards. This must be the same chick, conveniently. Day 2, prisoner offered standard rations and water. Told guard to perform obscene activity with the food. Second guard performed routine patrol 2 hours later and observed the rations had nonetheless been eaten. Obscene activity with food. Prisoner questioned about the purpose of her visit to Fort Northreach, admitted she came to move some goods. Refused to specify what kind, denied any connection to Permadeath rebels, but expressed clear contempt for Adair and sympathy for the rebel cause. When pressed, told the interrogator to go away and eat shite. I like all this profanity that they're using that doesn't sound fantastical at all in this kind of universe. Disciplined accordingly, returned to holding cell. See the whole absolutist principle on that, given we can incorporate this as RP, but like I wouldn't do that sort of thing. Like, think about it from their perspective, right? That looks fucking creepy as hell. It's a case where you don't need to antagonize them because they're already in a situation, right? I can understand you feeling that way, but I can't understand you come on, let me kill that. I can understand you feeling that way, but it's not going to help you to do that. Try to butter them up, suck up to them a little bit. When she said do an obscene gesture with the food, it just means what is this? Is that how all chests are going to look? Just like that weird aura around it? Pelt, softwood branch, common robe. Or I always love this implication in games like this too, where oh, I'm going around, I'm totally trying to save you from the cell also. Like there's some pressing objective that, oh, you got to hurry up, we got to get out of here. And I'm meanwhile derping around, looking at every little thing, picking up every little object, reading every bit of flavor text. Like you're just kind of derping around, taking it very lightly, the way that, you're not really taking it seriously. Or like in Professor Layton, that was one of my favorite moments. You have to rescue Espella. She's tied up and she's being held hostage. But oh, before I do that, I better collect all the coins around the room. And it's actually justified by the game, because if you don't collect them then and you rescue her, then the story advances and you can't go back and you can't get those coins ever. So it's like the game is almost teaching you something bad, right? That, oh, if you don't do it now. Jail key, I thought we weren't supposed to have the item glimmer though, because it was But no, this could be a very fun long playthrough. I'm very much liking it already. Even though I'm a bit scared by my limits here. But we got to set rules for everything to make it believable. Let me get her gratitude first.
What are you waiting for? Get the key. We should got around to trusting me eventually.
But even if I don't trust you, we can make you wear handcuffs or tie you up with a rope. Now she'll lock me in here too. Or she'll follow me back in the cell. I mean, you killed one of the guards, but you weren't able to escape by doing that anyway, so... But the other dude is out there, even though he was a bit of a clown, and he, This is really, like, tempting somebody, huh? You get to see the beautiful outside that you'll never get to escape to. I don't know why I expected there to be something of value in here. Port Northreach, yeah, no shit, where was I just then? Enemy weak points that can be visualized while aiming a bow or a ranged weapon. But no, there's all these weird animations on stuff like that on the... Oh, shit. What? The fuck are you talking about? Why'd you have to announce our presence? I was just doing that to show off, like, everything kind of glows a bit. Wait, where did you get that? Don't shoot us in the back here. But no, I don't want to use ranged. Like, what do you mean, dude? I categorically don't want to use ranged. What do I do then? They're coming down. Like, literally, I'm a melee character. I'm trying to... For fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. I don't like the way this is going already, but... Is he gonna pay any attention to me even by me doing this? I mean, they should be getting in free hits too, but I mean, I'm meant to be a melee character for a reason. Oh shit, that kind of scared me. Oh, he's still alive. Hit him with 5 shots and he's still alive. Classic. Oh, okay. So they give you a little, they give you a little bit too much leeway with that second wind. I feel like I'm barely even damaged sometimes when that's happening, so... That's like almost a cheap mechanic where I can just keep abusing that. It's a very bad habit to get into. And I keep pressing the wrong button because I don't want to put my potion on 1, but I keep forgetting.
Each other. They just don't. Something caused this.
Unless you think that chick did it, which would be very impressive. How she could have killed everybody there, but... Yeah, that's why I wouldn't question the whole self-defense thing.
I can't fathom.
They were bastards when they came here. All it took was time.
Oh, that's a good line.
Adherents. We respect each other. We're raised to follow the rules.
What's the matter? Upset your kin are no better than anyone else.
She's really talking mad shit. But little does she know, they're corrupted by some external influence, which you could still say is their fault. But no, we've gotten in that second wind thing twice. So what if it doesn't trigger one of these times? Like, I don't know what to make of it. I guess we could dual wield with that. Most games aren't really too forgiving for dual wielding, though. Like, Dark Souls was really bad for that. Like, there's no benefit to it at all because you can't really attack with both weapons at once. Yeah, we feel at home because we are a bit of a mushroom head. Reach the smuggler's boat.
Stay in the tall grass and get a drop on them.
Yeah, I like the way she thinks, but too bad that they're fucking invincible because that doesn't do nearly enough.
Right. Did your God give you that power?
Don't start that.
More coming. Stay down and don't get up.
Yeah, we'll let you be the tank, bitch. Why do they have to target me? I'm not even doing anything. They just know deep down I'm the biggest threat. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe this shit. They're too tanky, man. I know it's a high difficulty, but... More? The 3v1 sometimes, or whatever, like... It shouldn't be this tight. But they're somehow just targeting me too much. I'm not even noticing the damage text anymore. Or from the right. Like, what is this? A fucking boss battle, dude? Jesus, it's like kind of quantity over quality of enemies so far. Well, I mean, they're not bad, but it's just like they're setting a standard of having too many at once. You gotta remember the little dash thing, because that's the kind of mobility I always crave in games, but they typically don't give you. This is good to sort of avoid friendly fire, though. I don't feel like I'm accidentally hitting one of them. Level up. Let's wait till we get to the boat, I guess. Stun and special attacks, or maybe I don't have a choice. Charge, Tanglefoot, or minor missiles. So we already saw this: dash forward and smash into anything in your way, interrupting enemies and dealing explosive damage to break enemy blocks, destroy walls, and shatter frozen enemies for bonus damage. But no, I'm going to end up abusing the second wind in a way that's kind of a little embarrassing, but I'll deal with it. When you level up, you'll be awarded ability points that can be spent to purchase or upgrade abilities, cast abilities via the radial, and from the quick slots 1 through 6. Abilities require essence to cast. Even that's too small of a range, though. 1 through 6. It should be like 1 through 8 or 1 through 0. Right, like make a really complex game like WoW, where 1 through F12 and all these other ones too that you would use. Like you'd have like 6 action bars, right? Like why not have that as an option? Even PoE and games like that, Diablo, have moved away from having more keybinds like that. Like why? Oh, because you want to be console friendly or some shit. Your essence meter is the purple bar of your health bar. Replenish essence by drinking essence potions or collecting pure essence fragments defeated by enemies. So I guess it's not. Oh, I guess that's even for this. Even for a melee ability like this, you're trying to tell me that it would be, we have 1 point, so I'll put it in strength. But it's a case where I... Wait, what? Okay, let me put that on the thing here. This should be number 1. I don't get to choose where it goes, though, huh? And like what? So we're never going to have more than like 5 abilities? Like, that's so stupid. So I'll save it for combat, I guess. The 6 is my potion, but I don't think I even have any more potions. Oh, I still have something. Full health. And I have a couple other random things, too, that I picked up. No reason to be stingy with them, but I've got second wind twice, which I'm very bothered by. Maybe it should be like a 3-strike rule, but it shouldn't be happening this often anyway. Right, like if that mechanic wasn't there, I'd just be done. But then again, it's on the highest difficulty, so it's not like I'm... You know, maybe that should be disabled on the highest difficulty. Little romantic moment with this chick under the waterfall. Plus 10% dodge distance. Deerskin boots are standard for rangers moving quietly in the forest. Not only are they soft and durable, their hide is also so strong enough to fend off thorns and other hazardous flora in the living lands. So let's just go to we escape on the boat, I guess. That could be a good cutoff point. But yeah, this is really good. I would love to make a series out of this, but I just never have time. And I guess my point with that is, like, unless I can do, like, really long sessions, I don't like playing stuff like this because, you know, I don't get much done, which is fine, but I don't know. That's why I use, like, chess as a filler category that I, you know, it's the sort of thing I do just because I don't mind doing it if I have a little bit less time. So we're kind of still too high up in elevation, but no, we got kind of clowned by those first couple encounters a little bit because we're just getting in the danger zone. Even the chick is yelling at me, telling me, heal yourself, you fool. So this will be the same thing. Find a way to burn the brambles. Common wand.
Do better with that grimoire than he did. Hope there's a fire spell in there. It'd make quick work of the brambles.
Essence potion. So I'll do that just for RP purposes, kind of like in Pokemon. Like, oh, I can use the swim ability on one of these. I have it just for that, like utility. Right, so I can use it for puzzle solving, but in combat. I like her whole spunky attitude. She could be one of our love interests, actually. Her whole way of talking and everything is pretty cute. Let's see. We can use the Grimoire shit that we just got, which is... Wait, how do you even... Wait, what would that be under? Journal... Oh, it would be considered a weapon. Okay. Fan of Flames. So we would almost have to do that, though, wouldn't we? Wield offhand. I don't really get how this works, though, because would you just be able to do it? You've equipped a Grimoire. Hold right and 1, 2, 3, 4 to cast a spell. Okay, so again, that's not something I'm going to necessarily allow myself to do in combat. Although, again, you would think the trade-off of building my character as a melee emphasis would be that even if I did choose to do it, it wouldn't be very good, but whatever.
Got the high ground. How should we do this?
Go in all stealthy. There's a lot of moments where you
Stay low and take quick.
feel like you're going to get fall damage, right? That tends to be a problem that I keep having. Well, now there's no point trying to play stealthy, but you should always be able to take out one of them by doing that, and it just doesn't happen, really. Going for those greedy double swings is no good. Something's gonna hit me from behind too, I just know it. Or they'll suddenly like just switch targets. Fuck's sake. Where is everybody? Why aren't they helping? Oh my god. Like, at least if you get rid of one of them, dude. One of them. I can't do it. I guess they have their hands full a little bit. Okay, that one's good. I'm gonna run in the range of the arrow. That's actually a badass setup. The ranger is shooting a ranger, right? She took out the guy with the bow. I took out the guy with the melee. Like, we're fighting everybody of the same style as we are. Oh, is that it? Playthrough's over. Minus 70 bucks. The difficulty with that is you can't even tell sometimes when you're low on health. Like, I'll accept my defeat, but fuck. I should be able to try again. First playthrough, dude. It's so good too. But no, I swear I can't even tell what's happening with that in terms of, fuck, man. I'll count it. But the one game that I actually want to really play and make a series out of, not that I have anything against the other ones. The hard thing, again, is not knowing exactly when you're low. You're getting a little bit of the blood splatter on the screen, but it didn't really seem like in dire straits, so it was a situation where I should have just been more careful to use the potion, but it's very difficult to keep track of that, so that would be the run that we could try again, like in 6 months, I guess, but that's a shame. I won't do a hybrid for this one, though, just out of respect for that's actually what it looks like. So we lose the character, even if I was to play it again, which that doesn't matter because we didn't get very far, but we also lost 70 bucks. Like, think about the implication. We paid 70 bucks for it. Now I can't play it again because I died. Like, that's the price that we pay.